join. Yep. Good morning. The weird light effects you're witnessing here this morning is the sun. The sun is actually shining outside, which is, I haven't seen that for weeks. I hope you're all well. Wait maybe a minute or two for more people to join. Okie dokie. So, welcome to my little virtual store. So, first thing to show you before I get too warm is my, as Stephen West calls it, schlanket. So, my humongous shawl. Isn't this fabulous? So, obviously I'm wearing it to show off maximum amount of shawl. Normally I'd wrap that around a bit more. This is a Stephen West pattern. It's, what is it, fiery foliage? Fiery foliage. It's a hard word to say in the morning. And I used loads of different sock yarns. Some from Woolly Mama Yarns, some from me, some from For the Love of Yarn. And this one that you can see here, just this bit there, is this one, which is She Kissed the Wintersmith, which is really rather gorgeous. And you could knit this shawl with all the sock yarn special one single skeins that you have at home and make this. And he does give you an option to make this smaller if you don't fancy making a shawl that is this humongous. There we go. I did want to show this off. Yeah, I'll keep this on for now until I get too warm. So what can we start with? I think we'll start with the Yorkshire Yarnfest yarn. So this month's theme is amethyst, which I'll open up for you. So this one I dyed on my Yak Silk Merino single ply. Obviously loads of purples and things, and I'll open that for you. Oops. There we go. I'm going to do close-ups. My cameraman is getting more experienced by the Yarnfest. There we go. So loads of lovely speckles, loads of lovely purple. And this yarn is gorgeous. It's so nice to knit with. And it gives such an even fabric as well, with quite a bit of lovely drape. So that's the amethyst yarn, which I set to active on the website just before my live slot. So if you want to grab yourself one of those, I did 10 of them, so you might need to be quick. Look at those speckles, so pretty. Yeah, so that's the Yorkshire Yarnfest themed yarn, amethyst. And if you sort the website, if you sort the products by newest, that should be at the top. Let's pop that up there. Right, let's pop that back here. Also, pretty pleased with my Yarnfest setup, can I just say. I did this last night and this is perfect. Right, now then, this I showed you a photo of, I think yesterday. So this is the journey from skein to ball to sock. I'm knitting the second one now as well. I love this. This is so, these are such happy colours. And the name of the yarn is The Sun Always Rises. She can all do with a bit of hope and things at the moment, I think. So this obviously is the finished sock. And that's not even washed yet. But it is really neat. Turned out really quite well. So that's that. So that's The Sun Always Rises. Try to pause on things for a minute, because then you guys can hit screenshot quickly. But there we go. So that's that one. And then I've actually worn this for weeks, but I forgot to show you, I think. So this, again, skein to ball to sock. And this is Midsummer. So I've knitted myself these and I've worn them quite a bit. There might have been some last minute emergency washing last night, and this sock also might still be damp, but no one needs to know that, do they? There we go. So those are the lovely two socks I can show you, and it shows you a bit how the yarn knits up. And I do say this a lot, if you're not sure how yarn is going to knit up, when you open up the skein, think about how many stitches are in one bit of colour. So with this one, obviously the yellow is quite long, every bit of colour is quite long, so you'll get sort of stripes, which is quite nice. But then if you compare it to this one, where the colour changes are a lot shorter, you get a more mottled overall effect. So that doesn't apply to just my yarns, that applies to everyone's yarns. So that's a good way when you're at yarn shows and things, when you're looking at yarn and you're not sure, that's a good rule of thumb to apply. Then these got a lot of interest yesterday. My new minis. These are the same base as this one. It's superwash merino and nylon, and it's super plump and super squishy, and I just want to keep pinching them because they're so nice. So this is Patsy and this is Graphite. Patsy because someone might have been rewatching AppFab, possibly. So those are available on the website as well. Now you could, the Graphite I thought is a nice one if you wanted to knit contrast heels, toes and cuffs on some socks or a stripy shawl, that will work. Graphite goes with pretty much all of them. So this one is light at the end of the tunnel. I feel like my yarn names really have a bit of a theme at the moment. So you could pair that with that. Also, I think Grello Groove and this one would look really nice together. Or you could have a really high contrast like that. This one is Peonies, so that's all really, really nice. There. And then a tiny bit of bagging to move on. So I did post about this, but I'm really rather pleased with this. Look at this. So this is the Candle Flame cowl, which this lovely lady Anthea designed for my yarn. Isn't that gorgeous? It's so nice. Now she designed this in a way that you use 2 strands of my 4-ply together with a strand of mohair. And this one, Winter Brights, in the 4-ply has actually sold out. And I didn't have enough time to dye another batch. But what you could do if you wanted to knit that cowl is, I have the Winter Brights on mohair still, and you could use November Mornings with this, which will be a little bit less colourful than the picture, but it'll still be lovely if you wanted to make this. And this pattern, oopsie, is in issue, I should know this, 137 of Knit Now. And I'm pretty sure you can back order these. And I think towards the autumn, she'll release this pattern on its own as well. But yeah, look at that, my yarn with a pattern in a magazine. Never gets old, never, honestly. Yeah, so that is that one. And then a little bit of news. So on the 28th of May is the next in-person Yorkshire Yarnfest in York, where I will be with all of my yarn. And up until the 1st of March, you can buy tickets at a discounted rate. The early bird tickets on the website of the Yorkshire Yarnfest, and after the 1st of May they go up a little bit, I think by a couple of pounds. So put that in your diaries, and I hope to see lots of you there. But obviously until May is quite a way away, so until then, obviously, to cater to the yarn needs, let's have a look. So let me show you this one. So I have a very lovely French colleague called Romain, and Romain sent me an inspo pic from a book about painting that he saw, and that was the yarn that I dyed from the inspiration, and it is so lovely. And it's on my single ply merino alpaca and silk, and it is gorgeous. And it's Romain spelled backwards, Niamo. And that's that yarn. I really like this one. And I do think I need to pinch a skein for myself to knit with it. That's that one. And then, oh yeah, this is also, I wanted to show you these. So this is one of my newer ones, which is called French and Saunders. So there's been some AppFab watching, there's been some podcast listening, there's been a bit of a theme here. So this, I think, is really, really, really beautiful. And coincidentally, that would go quite nicely with November Mornings if you didn't want a contrast but a complementary yarn. And the same goes for, I'm losing my shawl. Just going to get rid of that. There we go. La Discotheque actually goes well with this as well. I think that's quite, I do like this one. So yeah, so that's French and Saunders, and it's got some little lovely speckles on there. There you go, that's that one. Adam, what's the time? We have till 35. Okay, 5 more minutes, perfect. Now this yarn, you might have seen several whips with this yarn until I decided which item this yarn wants to become, and I have decided now. This one, I have knitted this before, is going to be the Rosa cardigan by Along avec Anna. Her patterns are so good, honestly. Really, they're really, really well laid out and really well designed. You can get those on her website, and you can find her on Instagram. So I'm knitting that at the moment. This is double knit in Party on the Reef, which is in stock on the website, which I think is quite nice. It's just a bright, happy cardigan to wear with pretty much what I'm wearing today, like a white shirt, chinos, white sneakers, and then a happy, colourful cardigan. If you like this colourway, but you don't want a DK weight and you want to do something else with it, I have a few skeins of Party on the Reef 4-ply on the website as well. So you've got some options. But yeah, I think this is going to be quite nice. I think this is going to chew me up every time I wear it. And I think we can all do with a bit of that at the moment. So there you go. I'll just pause here for a second so you can screenshot or take notes if you want to. Party on the Reef is my yarn, and this is the pattern I'm doing. There we go. Pop that over here. Right. And then what else can I show you? Yes. So the Sun Always Rises, that's the sock yarn, and that's the Berry Alpaca. It's funny because this is exactly the same dye, as in I made a dye solution, used it on both bases, it's exactly the same. And depending on the base, this is how different things are. Which is why when you guys contact me about custom dyes, I ask you which bases and things, because look at the difference. But I think this is really quite pretty. So you could have bright socks and a more muted shawl, just saying. But I think this is really nice. I think these are really happy muted colours on the alpaca. It's not quite as bright. So those are the things I did. And I'll just see if there's any questions before my time is up in a couple of minutes. No questions? Never sure if that's a good sign or a bad sign. Because either I'm boring you all to tears, or I'm explaining everything so well there's no questions. But there we go. So, what else can I show you? Normally I leave some time for questions, but if you lot don't have any, oh yeah, no, we can talk about this one. So, I will, on a disclaimer, this one is called Christmas Lights Till April. Now, you can't see my husband's face right now, but downstairs in the windows, I still have my Christmas lights in the evening. Now, they're not coloured lights, they are just warm white lights, but I'm refusing to turn them off because I like seeing them in the evenings when I come back with the dogs. So this is Christmas Lights Till April, which if you're like me and you need extra light during the darker days, this is for you. And I thought Koi Pond and this together is actually pretty cool. And no one needs to know that this has a Christmas name, right? You could wear this all year round, but yeah. Everything goes well with a white shirt, anything. There we go. So those are those two. And this is all on the website. And as you can see in the background, these boxes, you can also hear the dogs getting hysterical at the postman now. This is all the stock I've got. I'm very happy with my neat labels. But as you can see, I have lots of yarn. All of that is on the website. So there's lots of things. If you didn't see anything that took your fancy here, it's worth having a look on the website.
Do you have any cold hands, warm heart to show, please?
Yes, probably. See, because I have a system. It's alphabetized. Haha! Look at me and my organised yarn stocks. There we go. Right, I do. I'm assuming you want me to open up the skein. Have I got 1 more minute? There we go. So let's open this baby up. There we go. gorgeous. And also, again, like anything, just wear a white shirt because it goes with everything. There we go. That's Cold Hands, Warm Hearts. So lots of different blues, but really short colour changes. So there you go. I think we're going to have to finish soon. So I'll wait if there's any more questions.
There's one last question.
Yep.
What was the name of the cardigan designer?
Yep. So I'm going to hold this into the camera and then you can quickly write it down. But it's Along avec Anna. And it's the Rosa cardigan. I hope that was long enough. If you didn't catch that, you can message me. I am taking the dogs out after this for a couple of hours, but I will endeavour to respond to messages quickly. And that is that. So, there you go. The website is in the title of this video. But Adam, you can also... I have the website here with very professional blue tack, never mind. That's my website. This is where all this yarn is in stock, including the Yorkshire Yarnfest themed one, amethyst, and everything I've showed you today. So I hope you enjoyed this and I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. I'm going to go get wellies on and get muddy with the doggos now. See you later.